Welcome to today's Leadership Series podcast, Celeb Talk 1.0. We are thrilled to have today with us a young, dynamic, promising lady, Mohanas. She is multi-talented at the same time, multi-dimensional. If I talk about her achievements, she has become the champion in intra moot court competition in 2023, which was held in Adamas University, Kolkata. His journey to the academic field has been quite outstanding. She has become the topper in her school in ISC and ICSC examinations. At the same time, if I talk about her university background, in university also she's very promising. She's the uh, leader, she's the representative of her department, and that shows that her leadership abilities and leadership qualities. At the same time, she is having extra passion for yoga, and she believes that that keeps her calm and keeps her energetic. Her professional journey is equally impressive. Currently, she has done an internship in the field of VAT, that is value added tax, in UAE in a very reputed corporate field. So let's welcome Miss Mohana. Yes, Mona, welcome to this talk show. Welcome to this podcast, Celeb Talk 1.0. So let us start with some simple question that you have achieved a lot of things in your journey. And how do you find or how do you balance all these things? So,
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking so highly about me. It's really great to be here. Well, to me, I feel yoga and a good planner is the key. Yoga helps me to stay concentrated and calm, while my planner ensures that I don't miss a beat. So basically, balance is the key. As a first year student or a second year student or somebody who has just joined the law school, it's very usual for them to get longer hours into studies, and they should actually expect such long studying hours, because you see law school is all about that. Until you study, you just don't get to know what it is, because first of all, you see, law is something which was not there in your school curriculum, so it is entirely a new subject to you. So I feel this is very much important for any law student who has just joined, or even who is even a pro, maybe who is in their fourth or fifth year. So I feel it's very, like, normal for them to get pressurized and to get such long studying hours and huge assignments. But the most important thing is balancing. Like, you should know how to take short breaks, because sometimes it is the only key which helps you to balance both the sides, and it's not always the studies and not always the regular curriculum which you need to follow. So for me, taking break and yoga is like the thing which helps me to keep calm, and that is the key for me.
okay,
So
that's
yeah.
wonderful. That's really inspiring. I feel that. So now let us go to the next question we have tonight. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, looking at my career, I'm sure everybody is fascinating, and everybody is actually thinking that I am going to be a legal professional. yes, of course, I personally am also very much keen to be a legal professional. But besides that, also I have another passion, that is being an entrepreneur. Like entrepreneurship is something which has been there. And probably it was in my 11th or 12th grade when I was like introduced into the business studies and subjects like that, which is related to the commercial world basically. So I learned that how entrepreneurship is actually a combination of creating something from scratch and watching it to grow. So it basically is like a playground for innovation and leadership, which are like two of my most favorite things. So
Mhm.
that is how I was gravitated towards entrepreneurship and to be an entrepreneur someday. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's wonderful, and I really wish you that you get success as an entrepreneur. So,
thank you so much.
and what I see from your journey, that as someone you have excelled academically, and what advice would you like to give to the students who are juggling multiple commitments in their life? So, what is your advice to them? Yep.
Well, for the students who are having a multidisciplinary course to follow, who are juggling between multiple commitments, as you said, it is there are three things: prioritize, focus, and don't be afraid to take short breaks, like I already said. So, first of all, we should know how to prioritize our tasks, because you see, I personally am a person who really loves painting. So, I mean, you can call it as a hobby also. So, I have my passion to painting, but then I should know how to prioritize my works, how to prioritize my studies, my work, then my painting, then again the yoga, which I talked about. I also have a keen interest towards reading. So I really love reading a lot. So we should know how to prioritize, and that is where we will also get to know that after prioritizing, we know where to focus exactly. This is how we can balance our work, and that gives us the correct roadmap, shows us the correct path which we should follow. And definitely, I'm sure if somebody follows this way, like prioritizing, focusing, and taking breaks, because sometimes a short break can boost productivity more than pushing through exhaustions. So that's my advice.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's again a very good uh, answer from your end as an young entrepreneur. So one thing I'd like, I'm very much fascinated that what inspired you to take LLB or law as your subject. What is the background behind it? So if you can say the story of it.
Yeah, sure. All right. So basically, I have always been fascinated by the way laws shape our society, how it guides the mankind, and you have already seen my combination that it is BBLLB. So basically, it is a combination of business and law. So businesses are something which drive our economy. So I feel as an individual who wishes to take up administrative services in their later phase of their career, like I am also aspiring to be one. So I feel that we should also know that how the economy works, because until one is aware of the world situation or maybe the country situation, they cannot actually understand or plan to be a good administrator. So to be a good administrator, I feel learning or knowing the economy is very important, because you see, at the end of the day, it's businesses which brings us revenue, right? So even for taxation policies, we should know how businesses work. So that is how I actually selected my combination. And talking about my fascination and passion, I was actually taken into very much by this subject since my 8th grade. So in my 8th grade, I remember we had a subject called civics. So there I learned about constitution. It was although very brief introduction to that subject, but what actually made me enthusiastic was the few terms which we have in the constitution, like sovereign, secular, and terms like justice, liberty. So I was very fascinated to know that what these terms actually mean, right? I had a very brief introduction to it then, but later on that interest, grew into something bigger. So I like decided to take up this, and not only this, like every other family, politics and law discussions are ingrained into every dinner table discussion. So whenever such discussions took place at our house, I was very like interested to know what happens behind, or maybe what the Supreme Courts or the High Courts, what because you see most of the times we know the cases, but we
Mhm.
don't know what is the outcome. So I
Right.
was very interested to know like what is the actual outcome, because the media, what it does, it shows us the cases, but it doesn't actually tell us the what the Supreme Court has derived out of it, like what is the final judgment. So I was very keen to know that. Later on I realized that studying law is the only like career which can help me to know more onto this, and can give me more insight into this. So that is how I gravitated towards it. And talking about science and other streams, I was never much keen about it. It was never my cup of tea. So it was very easy to narrow down my career choice. So that is how
Okay.
I did it.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Again, I really love it. No, the way you are showing your confidence is really shows that uh, how mature you are. So again, one thing I'd like to know from you that as you represent, Gen Z, that the today's generation, what are the challenges uh, you people face in today's world? How you keep yourself on track? How you keep yourself motivated? So if you could say something on that.
Well, for the Gen Z, which I am also a part of, I feel that, balancing the pressure to excel academically or professionally while maintaining a proper social life and personal well being is a huge challenge. Like most of the people, they fail while maintaining their social life on one hand and maintaining their academic life on the other, while some other people, what they do is they concentrate so much on their academic life that they forget that they also had a social life. So I feel that balancing the both is very important, and this is the huge challenge which the youngest generation, like the Gen Z, they face. And one more thing is that is the constant comparison which they have through social media and through other like mediums. And that is what they they are actually unable to keep pace with the technological changes going around, and it becomes very overwhelming for them. So this is a huge challenge which they face. So that is what they should keep a track on, and they should actually try to balance the both. And I feel that is the challenging part for them.
Okay, absolutely. Yes. And in today's students or the today's people, they are having a lot of challenges, which, if I talk about, about me, that we didn't have that kind of challenges in our time. But now we have a lot of distractions, a lot of challenges. And one thing I'm also really fascinated about that you are a yoga practitioner. You practice yoga. So, what you enjoy most, practicing yoga? If you can
Well,
say.
talking about yoga, yeah, sure. I love practicing yoga. It helps me to keep centered, keep calm, and it actually also, we are very much known to the term health is the wealth. So first comes the health. So if we have a good health, then definitely we can achieve anything. So even for studying or doing good in academics or excelling in academics, we should have a good health first. And in today's world where there are so much of what say, I mean, there are actually many distractions. Talking about junk foods, then we have stuffs like so we have this bad habit of sitting idle for longer, because nowadays everything is in our hand through smartphone. So I feel that even if you're unable to do a hard work, then definitely you should try practicing yoga, because that is what which helps you to keep calm and centered, and also gives you a very good healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely, yeah. One should be, physically active, maybe doing some kind of exercises. That I also really believe that yoga is a very good way of keeping oneself calm, quiet, and fit also. And talk,
Right.
and before we go to the next questions, I would like to tell my viewer, those who are live in this moment, you can put your questions if you have any questions, so our guest Mohana Das would be happy to answer all these questions. So if you have any question, you can write, you can comment in the chat box, and we'll really be feel happy to answer all these questions. And tune with us until the end so that you don't miss this great opportunity to learn from Mohana. So let us go to the next question of our podcast. That is, you are super active. You are super busy. I think you are doing a lot of things in your day to day activity. So in your free time, what you would like to do, how you spend your free times.
Yeah, I am mostly very much busy, but then also, like I said, that I really appreciate taking breaks because taking break is also very important. So yeah, during my weekends, what I prefer doing is, as I told you, I love painting. So I am a person who really loves making Madhubani painting. I'm sure many of you are aware of this. So Madhubani painting is basically from a part of Bihar,
Mhm.
and this is also known as the Maithili painting. So this painting actually, helps me to become more innovative. As I told you, that innovation is a thing which I really love the most. So yeah, I really love painting during my free hours, and I also love doing yoga. As I told you, I practice yoga, so I devote a great amount of time to that. And not only that, I also love reading, as I told you. So reading, not I mean, I love reading of all kind, but there's a particular kind which I love very much. That is, I'm a person who loves reading about the great freedom fighter Netaji. So
Okay.
I have been doing research on him already, and like I'm very interested to know about his lifestyle, how he saw the world, and I'm even trying to find out more about his mysterious death, or whatever we call it.
Mm.
So there's like a lot many books about him, a lot many reports, articles. So I really devote a huge amount of time for that as well. So that's a kind of passion or hobby, you can say. So that is what I do during my free time.
Absolutely, Mona. I really appreciate all these things, whatever you are saying, and I'm personally motivated by your way of thinking, way of uh, explaining the thing, the way you are explaining. I'm really getting a lot of motivation, and
Thank you.
let us go to the next one. And how you experience, or how you describe the leadership, as you are a good good leader, you are the representative of your department, and you are also a class monitor in your school. That means you have the leadership qualities, you are having the leadership abilities. So how do you define leadership, or what is your perspective about leadership?
Sure. So basically, for me, leadership is not just a title. It's about, understanding the needs of the moment and stepping up with confidence and responsibility. It's all about action, and not the position only. So to be a good leader, we should actually understand what others are going through. We should be empathetic, we should be able to realize their pain points basically, and should also be courageous enough to step up for their cause. Even if that is not for your own cause, it might happen at times that the cause is something which is entirely deviating from what
Mhm.
you are or from what you do. So leadership is not doing something for your own benefit always. It's something which you should do for others, and you should try to feel like them. You should get into their shoes to know what they're going through, and to help them throughout. So it's basically not a title or position. It's about the action which you perform. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Leadership is all about, taking responsibilities and also showing the path to the future generation. It is not about, title. It's not about the position, as you rightly said. And I also believe this. So if I ask you one thing, that is there any leader that who has inspired you or who has motivated you as a leader? Any leader? Can you say a name of
Well,
leader?
as I already told you, our great freedom fighter Netaji, I am really motivated by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and I really really admire the way he looked at his life. I really am very much like motivated through his work, and how he did the things very bravely, and it was very selfless, to be honest. Like if we look into other people, I mean, here I'm not dishonoring anybody, but respecting all other leaders. If we look into his life, it was very very selfless, and even at places, the great British people, they even accepted the fact that it was all because of Netaji that we like got freedom, that they like were compelled to leave the country. So there was always a passive force which he always had, and even the British people, they accepted this fact. So that is the kind of motivation which I get, and I'm like very much motivated by him. So he's the leader to whom I look upon.
Okay, this absolutely. Yeah, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is really a wonderful leader. So, before we go to the next question for Mohana, I would like to say something. I would like to give some information to our viewers. If anyone wants to be in a part of our podcast, so you can contact in this number given below, or you can write email in the given email address. So we would love to uh, contact you, and we can take you as a guest in our podcast. So let us go to the final one, the final question I have for you, Mona. That what one piece of advice you would like to give our listeners to pursue their dreams?
Well, I believe staying curious, staying determined, and never being afraid to fail is the advice which I would like to give to our listeners, whoever it is, whether they're pursuing law degree or not pursuing law degree, a student or a professional, or whoever it is. Every setback is just a setup for a comeback. And I feel that one should not have expectations which are very unrealistic, goals which are unattainable.
Mhm.
At the end, these dreams or maybe this kind of over expectations only makes us depressed and nothing else. So we should have goals which can be attained. We should definitely have goals. I'm not telling that you should not have goals, but do not over expect something. Do not expect something which is unrealistic. Always stay within the realistic world. So that is all that I want to tell to the viewers or to the listeners. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, so here we come to the end of our wonderful session with Mohana Das, and I really thank Mohana for our time, for our precious advice to the youngsters, particularly the youngsters, those who are watching us right now. So you can take a lot of inspiration from this young lady, and we need this kind of leadership in our country to take our country to the next level. So, and I also wish Mohana every success in her future life, in her endeavor. So, Mohana, thank you so much for joining our talk show, and we look forward to you having you once again. Thank you so much. So,
Thank you.
viewer, that's the end of this podcast, and we'll be back with another episode of podcast with a different guest. So until then, I am Sanjit Basu signing off from Select Talk 1.0. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Take care.